Okay, everything looks like it's working now. I got the levels. I got that on. I restarted everything. The mic seems to be working. So I don't know. I should check the feed to see if it was just Dave's machine that was acting up. My computer hit was chugging pretty good, so maybe that's what was happening. If you can hear the planes going over, then you know the microphone's working. Of course, in the restart, I lost my ones of viewers. Are you there? Well, yeah, I was just done talking about the one time Frank Oz told me all the secrets to puppetry, and I said I would only repeat it once, um, but so I can't really repeat it again. But now that I repeated it, I can pass that along to you. Okay, well, it's okay. I needed to restart anyway. It was really herky jerky. I wasn't sure if I muted it on my end because I'm leaning over the keyboard as I keep it in frame, and I wasn't sure if I hit something like the spacebar or something that made it mute. Yeah, you can have those secrets. When I was trying to be a cartoonist for so long, I tried to, newspaper comics, and there was a couple of self-published comics in my local paper, the Times Advocate, when I was growing up. And I was about 18, 17, 18 years old. And I was making submission packets. I hadn't started sending them off yet, but I had already sent them off. And I saw that one of these self-published cartoonists in the paper had an email address, like an AOL account. And so I decided I'm going to ask him all his secrets, how he was able to get into papers, what it was like being self-published as opposed to going through a syndicate, and whatever. So I wrote him a little letter, and a couple weeks go by, and he writes back and he says, "If you have anything that you like doing more than cartooning, do that instead. This is too hard of a business to try and break into." And I was like, well, nuts to him. Doesn't he know all of the what I'm capable of? But yeah, that was back when I was young and delusional, as opposed to just delusional. I remember when I was doing submission packets in high school, and those comics are awful. I can't even believe how bad they were. But I was convinced. I was convinced I was going to make it. And I remember reading that Charles Schultz had started Peanuts when he was 26, and he was, I think, coming up on 40 years when I was in high school. Or he was already past 40 years. And I thought, boy, I could be the longest running syndicated cartoonist, because as soon as I get out of high school, I'll submit, and they'd be crazy not to publish my comics. And I could be, I'd get like a 7-year head start on Charles Schultz. Now he was in for a rude awakening that first week after I had submitted and started getting all the rejection letters. Well, you came back just in time to really see nothing, because I'm almost done with this other arm. Well, I'm going to attach the arms today. That's what I'll do. And I'm going to have to trim off almost the exact amount of fabric that I had to turn off. I had to trim off the other one. Oh, hey, Scott. How's it going? Okay. Okay, so I got the two arms done. I'm going to make those little rings. Get rid of this. Oh, I'm good. I've been working, so that's been a pleasant change. Do that one. This is it's a no parking sign, but I basically use it to make my little discs. Sometimes mouth plates. It's just one of these. Oh, actually, we'll drill some holes. What are the rough dimensions of Mayberry eyes? I'm trying to work out ways to make eyes for Sam's cousin without vacuum forming them. Well, so this is what the buck looks like. This is the last pull I have of it. But this is actually an Easter egg, a pull off of a half of an Easter egg, one of the giant ones. And at one point, I was going to take two of these and cut them and then glue them together, kind of like how I did Ralph's eyes. But I didn't go that route. Let's see, it's 6.5 wide and about 5 inches tall. And Sam's eyes are a little smaller. They're about 4.5 tall and looks like 6. So I cut about a quarter of an inch off of all the way around it. For the longest time, Sam's eyes were just those acrylic domes that you get at Home Depot. And I cut out with my Dremel. Oh, geez, this whole video has been about these arms. Yeah, so... Oh, I got to get my hot glue gun just a second. So, the system basically is you have the armature hand that has a plate here that the arm rod plugs into. There's a little piece of tubing that's in there, a shoelace that's wrapped around that goes up the arm, and then out the end. You have it here, and you tie it off at to the wire armature for the hand, and then it goes out through this end to the open end, and then you cut out 4 of these little discs. They're about the same size as the diameter of the opening. And you drill 2 little holes the size of the shoelace. Have we decided yet what those things are called? Uvlets? Something. I always think they're icelets, but I know that's not right. I live next to a major thoroughfare and an airport, so I have the constant noise. But there's no high tension lines, so it should be okay. Okay, so I'm cutting out the... I'm not near a nuclear reactor. These don't have to be perfect, which is a good thing because they're not perfect. They just have to be vaguely. Okay, so I got 4 of these guys, right? Now, also, I need to tie a knot just slightly below the end of the hand here, the arm. I mean, the end of the arm here. I need a little knot. Aglets. That's it. Okay. And then I thread the little, we'll get a better one. Thread the little things through, the aglets through. Ooh, could be dangerous. And it butts up against that knot. Then you stuff the knot inside there. I don't think that hot glue gun's hot yet. Okay, I'm going to do the other arm. And this is largely the way that BJ showed me how to do it. I've changed a few things here and there, but I don't remember what I changed and what was the original way of doing it. Okay, so you push it down so it's about a quarter of an inch of overhang on the fabric here. You need your other 2 discs. Oh, and the other thing I need, you can just tie them off, but the other thing I have been using lately Wait a second. Are these things, which they're these little things that go on like backpacks, and you press it in, it basically locks the straps in place. So I'll show you how I use them. We're home stretch here. Okay, so I'm going to line up all the seams. Let's see which way. Up and down, which I thought. Okay, so put a little dab of glue on that little washer. Very carefully glue that fabric right there. I already messed it up. 1 second. Okay. Because I already did the hole, because I'm reusing this body, I just want to make sure they match. So what the if ordinarily the way I do it is I glue them in there and then just make sure they're the same on both sides. And then cut the holes in the body, so you don't have to worry about it as much. A little bit more glue on there. Fold that over. Burn yourself. I probably should have made this disc just a little bit bigger, but so basically, and then any gaps that. Okay, so now I have an arm, finished arm. Let me do the other one. You know, you can put beads in there, and certainly the strings make it easier. But I've never had any luck with the beads actually doing anything. They just kind of get in my way. So I abandoned the beads a while ago. But you know, there's not only one way to do everything. I like to put structure in here usually. These are a little different because I'm rebuilding old puppets, and the original ones didn't have any structure. And I kind of like the way they kind of look cartoony. But yeah, you would just basically replace out the I mean, you might put some polyfill in there, but you would mainly have beads in there. And it would give it some weight, and it would change the way it moves. The nice thing about this is you can mix and match. Ouch. You can burn yourself if you want. You can mix and match different techniques. Like, you might do this where you don't burn yourself. That might be. Okay, let's see. Okay. Got the 2 arms done. I'm going to unplug that glue gun. Boy, that's spots. Okay. So now what you do is you take, let's see this. Okay, so you see these 2 little holes? See these 2 little holes right here? See these 2 little holes? Okay, so The Foss shape doesn't have any holes, but what you could do, you can actually burn them in place. But I always have problems with that too. So what you do is you feed the uvulets through there. Eventually I'll remember what they're called. Feed those through and you pull it real tight. Make sure you have the right arm on the right. Okay. And then you take one of these little things. Feed them through the holes. Oh, wait. Almost forgot. You have to put these little pieces on here. The other washer on the other end. Otherwise, it'll eat right through the foam. Okay, and then you put that little thing on. I looked up backpack supply warehouse black backpack supplies online and found these things on there. So, all right, so that arm's on. You get the other arm. This one has holes. Let's see if they're in the same spot. Yeah, there we go. Try not to stab yourself. There we go. Now, if I hadn't done all that work on the head yesterday, it would basically look done now. But because I took the eyes off and the antenna, it is not going to look done. But otherwise, it would have been done today. You just feed it through the little hole there. Okay. Pull it through. And this is the way all the crank anchor puppets were done, pretty much, except for they didn't have the little backpack things on them. They were just tied off. But it's basically, this is the way all the crank anchor puppets were done. So they were very modular, so they could make a new character by taking the arms off one and the body off another and whatnot, and changing them out. Tighten that down. So then, sorry she doesn't have eyes right now, but oh boy. You know it's tight if I can barely get my hand in there. Okay. So, where's your eyes? Kind of see now how this is all going together. Let's see. Get some nice movement out of it. And the nice thing is if it gets loose, you can tighten it up. Okay. So I accomplished something today, which is good. She's going to need, she needs a ring down in here to keep everything in place. And she also needs her eyes and her antenna. Eyes, antenna, eyebrows, that's it. That's all that's left on this thing. Okay. Also got your sleeve pattern. Going to be using that on the next puppet I build. Fantastic. So the sleeve pattern, I need to make it. I'll send out an email when I fix it, but I would add an extra 2 inches to the jersey mesh. I've been finding lately that the 3 that's in the pattern is a little short. Basically, they'll work. That's what I used on a lot of stuff. But with a 5 inches there, you get a little bit more play out of it. So you can use it on a bigger neck hole if you want. So just bear that in mind. But otherwise, that neck pattern, I use that neck pattern on everything. And I use that wedge pattern on just about everything. I just ran out of those and bought a bunch of single and doubles from AliExpress. Oh, AliExpress, that'd be a good idea. I didn't even think to look there. Well, anyway, I guess tomorrow is going to be addressing these eyes and the antenna, and then I think this puppet's going to be done, which is fantastic. I may also sew on the neck ring. That may be the other thing I need to do. Not the neck ring, the sleeve ring, because for whatever reason this one doesn't have one. I must have run out of boning at that point, but it's easy enough to add later. Can I have a look at that, even if I scale it up by 50%, just to make the whole sleeve a bit bigger? I can have a, okay. Oh, cool. Yeah, I think I got 36 for about $30. So, same thing. I mean, it would have been cheaper. It just didn't occur to me to do that. So when I run out of those, I'll definitely take your advice, Dave. That's a good one. I've never used those things before, but I'm putting on everything now. I have them on Ralphie. Just put them on Roberta. I'm going to change out Mayberry's and Sam's. And then once Mayberry and Sam are done, I'm going to build Sammy. So that'll be the last of the 5 or the 6 main puppets. So anyway, I'm going to get out of here. But thanks for tuning in. It was good seeing all of you. Or both of you. And I will be back tomorrow. So see you later.